Hey guys, Monster here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to jump in and do the new movie boss rush that has been added to the movie bosses red zone stage. I don't know if it shows a thing. Have they updated this? Yeah. So basically there are 7 phases because these 7 stages of the movie boss rush. Each phase is against the final boss, so you don't fight the entire thing like the phase 1 against the minions and then like one of their first transformations and then the final form, and then start again, kind of like you do with boss rush, normal boss rush, where it's like the whole Dokkan event. This is just the 7 stages and it is the final boss of each phase. So we're going to jump straight in with the Tech Vegeta team. This is probably my favorite team in the game at the moment, although double Vegeta turn is not the best start here, but we'll have to make do. So fortunately, this team has been massively buffed by the EZA for the Blue Evolution Vegeta, who of course then becomes a very, very good extra slot 1 choice, right? Because if you start with double Vegeta starting rotation, you're off to a bit of a bad start because there's not a lot of units on this team that can necessarily work well in slot 1, especially straight away from the start of the event. You ideally just want both your rotations to be Tech Vegeta in slot 1 for like every turn. So having to float one off obviously means it then takes longer for him to come back, so that means it's longer for him to start stacking, and that's not really what you want. So, but anyway, we start off here against Turles. He's int and he can be sealed. No other attack effects like attack lowering, defense lowering, can't be stunned. But I mean, that's the other great thing about Tech Vegeta, is that he seals. So this first phase will be an absolute cakewalk. As you can see, of course, otherwise the event wouldn't really have much of a challenge to it. All of the bosses have been juiced up, all of their stats tuned up, so of course like this int Turles is not the same level of difficulty as the int Turles at the end of the first stage of the movie boss rush. But like I say, the event would just be way too easy. You think about how crazy some of these teams are now with the anniversary units and stuff. You would potentially just one turn like every phase if it was just copy and paste like from the movie boss rush stages that we already have. So their attack stats turned up a little bit, which is great. So we can get a little bit of a chance to stack and do some stuff here. Sealing him straight away is good for setting up the next turn. Obviously, in Blue Evolution, Vegeta can be our slot 1 unit. He'll take some hits and start building up, getting his revival condition met. So we should be all good. Now we've got a couple of units on the team that want to stack. So I think what I'm probably going to do is not transform Physical Gogeta too early, because obviously while he's untransformed, I do want him to get some stacks. Situations like this, right, where he'd only be taking normals from Turles and Turles is stunned, sealed, I wouldn't really need to worry about transforming him, but I guess it just depends how like the rest of the phases go. Because we do have a few units. I guess the only downside to this team, as good as it is, as much as I like it, is there's a lot of units that need to stack, right? So like if Vegeta went crazy here and is doing the 3 supers, it means the STR Goku and Vegeta don't really get a chance to do supers to get their stacks, and then obviously Physical Gogeta in slot 3 gets 0 chance to get any stacks here because the STR Goku and Vegeta are going to kill Turles. So there's a lot of units that want to stack, which is a little bit awkward. Hopefully we'll find time for each of them to start getting some stacks as we float different units around and set up our rotations. But obviously Tech Vegeta, he stacks quite quickly. AGL BROLY stacks attack, so we probably should do this here. Slug being STR means he's going to get absolutely destroyed by this team, which is quite funny. King Vegeta, of course, on the team supports the Vegeta. Basically, he supports everyone on the team except Gogeta, because everybody else is a pure Saiyan. So everyone's getting the support from King Vegeta, which is nice. Because of the units that we have on the team, with King Vegeta floating, there will never not be a unit on rotation whose name includes Vegeta, so he gets his full passive active. So he's a great mana unit. Like mine's Rainbow Link level 10, and he is very good at tanking even some of the bigger boss super attacks post super. So that King Vegeta really, really good. And then of course with the Tech Vegetas and BROLY both being extreme, and King Vegeta as well, BROLY's domain buffs those 4 units on the team. It does obviously mean a little bit of extra damage coming in for Blue Evolution, the STR Vegeta and then Physical Gogeta. But once we've got to a certain point in the event, if we confuse into Vegito, then even with that little bit of taking a bit of extra damage because of Broly's domain, it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference because of the massive damage reduction he gets for the counters. And then, you know, his Scouter effect lets us not put him in front of super attacks, and then he's just going to be perfectly fine. So, King Vegeta might actually kill Lord Slug here. Yeah, Broly being AGL and Lord Slug being STR, not a great combination for Lord Slug, I'm afraid. And then, yeah, crit from King Vegeta seals the deal against Lord Slug. Okay, so good turn here. We're not going to get a huge amount of chance to get stacks for the Vegeta and Gogeta. Vegeta and Goku, unless we float Blue Evolution Vegeta, which I guess while we're against a physical enemy we could do that, but Broly's on the other rotation. Like, I want the two rotations to be like this, so I guess we won't do that. You only need one key. Okay, so then we can get all of these for you, so you get the 24 key, which gives you the guaranteed crit, and then we do these for you. So the thing is, we can get some stacks here with the Vegeta and Goku as we go, but we're not really in much danger of losing a lot of HP, at least this early on, like in these stages. So whether we'll even get the Vegito fusion by the time we get to the end is a completely different story. But we'll see how we get on. So obviously we can't seal anymore. I think, was it only Turles? I don't even see about Slug, because he just got deleted instantly by Broly. So I guess we don't need to worry too much about that. Yeah, big damage from Blue Evolution Vegeta. Obviously Vegeta won't kill, and then he'll get hit a few times here, because I think his revival condition wasn't quite up yet, but it will be after he takes hits this turn. So yeah, because he's taking like 4 hits this turn as it is. And then Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta should be able to get a decent few supers off here, even if they end up killing him. Although getting additional normals is not what we want. Alright, 5 mil. Can we get one more here? I mean, we can, but will we? No. Okay. So we've got a few stacks off. Okay. This is the turn where stuff could potentially get crazy. Although saying that, I should save, because I've got to think about the number of turns it takes for Broly's domain to run out. And obviously the fact that he does continue to stack attack in this form. So I think we should just do this. Again, like, I guess I could just transform Gogeta, because at this rate Gogeta's like not going to get any additional attacks off. Well, he's barely going to get any attacks off ever as it is at this rate. So Gogeta's not really going to get a lot of stacks. But you got to remember, after Cooler, we've still got 13 Janemba. Have I missed somebody out? 13 Janemba, Broly. Have I missed somebody? I don't know now. We did Turles, Slug. Was it straight into Cooler after Lord Slug? Who's next? Why am I forgetting? How long has it been since I've had to do the movie Boss Rush? I'm not even sure. But more stacks for Broly, we'll take those. Is it 13 next? Yeah. So who's after 13? I'll see who it is and be like, oh yeah, of course. But, oh well. Okay, so 24 key for you. I mean, this team is just absolutely destroying this event. Like, Tech Vegeta's up to 700k defense. So he's obviously looking good here. In Vegeta's revival is active in case we did need it, but I can't really see us struggling too much in the next couple of phases. Yeah, we're doing... Well, okay, only get one super. I guess that's the only downside to not having a bunch of other characters whose name includes Goku on the team, right? Is not getting the extra potential super from Vegeta, but that's fine. Now, of course, Broly's domain does buff the bosses as well, because, of course, they are all extreme. So, with Broly, we're really only looking for that explosive power that he has at the end. So, I'm not worried about saving his domain. We can just save it until, like, Janemba. and then the combo of the Super Saiyan Vegeta once he's transformed, and then Broly will just go absolutely crazy at the end. So yeah, King Vegeta is still perfectly fine tanking here. This Vegeta's up to 640k. Is my Vegeta? I think mine has, is it one dupe I got from him from Saiyan Day? Yeah, one. Definitely want him to come back on another banner sooner rather than later as well. But go ahead and grab those. Grab those for you. Broly obviously is getting less key in the turns after his intro buff runs out, but he's still able to get a lot of extra key per orb, so we're still not having any issue here getting the 18 key super for him. He does also get 2 extra key when attacking in slot 2 anyway. Same with slot 1. He gets 6 if he's in slot 3. But once we've got this rotation set up, obviously we don't want to be floating him off. And by keeping him in this form for that little bit longer, obviously all of his super attacks are stacking his attack. So once we do eventually transform him into the full power Broly, then he's going to be able to do a ton of damage. My Broly doesn't have a lot of crit in the hidden potential, because once he transforms he gets a lot of crit. So I guess these are the kind of events that show where that build is maybe not as good as the more crit heavy focused Broly, because obviously in some events you are going to be untransformed more than you are transformed. And my reasoning behind not giving him a huge amount of crit is because of how much he gets once he has transformed. So until he does, then obviously he's got quite a low chance to crit because he's just getting it from the hidden potential system. But I think having the extra chance to do, he doesn't need a lot of additional because he gets a lot of additionals anyway, but having that dodge for situations that could be really bad for him defensively I think is good, especially with rotation locking and stuff like that being a thing. Situations where he gets locked into slot 1, I would definitely be happier with him having a bit of dodge rather than having a load of crit right in that situation. So but yeah, here we go. We should finish off 13 here, nice and easy. Loads of key for all the LRs. Vegeta, I probably still should have just transformed Gogeta here. Should have probably been paying more attention to the Dokkan attack as well, because Vegeta getting the Dokkan attack here, maybe he'll get stunned? Can 13 stun? Is that a thing? Probably not. No. It just does double digit damage to Vegeta. Okay. So I guess I won't hit the nodes here because not only does it make it go faster, but we won't do as much damage. And then maybe we can get some additional supers. Because still, even if Tech Vegeta is going to be the one to kill him, I still want him to get as many super attacks as possible to get the extra stacks. So, which he didn't do, but either way, that's fine. Blue Evolution Vegeta, 21 million. Yeah, this team is just so much fun. Like, every one of the units is good defensively in their own ways. So we're just getting absolutely flying through this now. Oh, Bojack, of course. How could I forget about Bojack? He sealed Gogeta. That's outrageous. Gogeta? I mean Vegeta. How could he do that? Oh, and he's locked him in slot 1 as well. Okay. Should we just transform Broly now then? Is now the time? We want to try and make sure we have AGL orbs for King Vegeta, so we're going to grab these. And then, yeah, we can just grab these, I guess. Alright, so we didn't transform. We'll just do this. He does have guards, so I mean, even if he gets supered here by Bojack, we're going to get a bunch of supers off. We've got the support from King Vegeta. We should be okay. Obviously, with how hard these bosses hit in the boss rush version, his super attack will do a lot of damage, so Broly could potentially take a lot of damage here, but as long as we get enough supers off, he should be living a super. King Vegeta with the AGL orbs should tank a super as well. Obviously, we'll see how we get on. Obviously, Tech Vegeta not going to be able to get any more supers off this turn, but his defense is already built up to a very high level, and with the links he has with King Vegeta that he doesn't share with Broly, he gets a lot of extra stats. So, does this do double-digit damage to him? Yeah, it does. Okay. So yeah, Tech Vegeta just eats that for breakfast. You love to see it. And then King Vegeta. Can we get a crit on King Vegeta? My King Vegeta has a full dodge build, because at the end of the day, whilst he is pretty good at tanking post-super, he is a support unit. As bosses start to hit harder and harder, he will obviously age out quicker. But with the full dodge build, I've definitely had a few runs on certain events where King Vegeta has clutch dodged a super for me. So okay, so these guys in slot 1 is not ideal, but we do obviously have the setup where if they die, we're just getting the revival with Blue Evolution Vegeta, so I think that's fine. We'll go ahead and do this. What are they going to take here in slot 1? I mean, they could just dodge, of course. Double digits from normals. I mean, there you go. That's the thing, with units that need to stack, they're fighting for position to get these additional supers to get their stacks, but once they are stacked up to a reasonable level, then yeah, we're tanking these normal attacks for double digit damage. And now, of course, this is the perfect opportunity for them to get a bunch of stacks, as they get to do multiple attacks here now in slot 1. Did someone get sealed as well, actually? Was it Blue Evolution Vegeta? I think he's fine regardless, especially because of the type advantage, but yeah, it must have been Blue Evolution Vegeta, if he did seal anyone, because both Goku Vegeta and Tech Vegeta have actually attacked on this turn. So we do have a unit whose name includes Goku, so we can get the additionals here for Tech Vegeta potentially. Alright, nice bit of damage. The problem is, every time it cuts back to the rotation after it's shown like the enemy attacks or your super attacks, it removes the it resets the cycle of the icons on your character, so of course. So now we have to do this and hope for the best. This guy's had like no supers in the entire event, so his defense is incredibly low. Goddamn blocking. I mean, literally no point me using the domain on this turn, because all it does is buff Bojack and make him do potentially more damage to Gogeta. Gogeta coming in clutch with the dodges. 70% chance to dodge. He got sealed as well. Man, this guy has the absolute target on Gogeta's chest. Sealed it, locked him in slot 1, sealed him, but he dodged every attack. So he came through for us. I think even one of those normals would have potentially done a pretty decent bit of damage. I don't know how hard Bojack hits. I suspect he probably wouldn't one-shot Gogeta with one normal. So dodging the super was obviously a big one, because I think the super would have been guaranteed instant death at that point. But yeah, fortunately, these guys are able to pull it together. BROLY, of course, as we've said, in slot 3, whilst we didn't want to float him, because I had my rotation set for the entire run, basically, so far, BROLY does at least get an extra super in slot 3, and this is one of those few situations where him not having any crit does actually come in kind of handy for me, because then he's not critting against Bojack and killing him too quickly. So he's getting a bunch of additional supers here. Of course, we'll see what that means for us in terms of the next turn, where we now have to have another turn versus Bojack, so we've got another situation of locking and sealing to deal with, but we'll see how we get on. I mean, we've not really taken a significant amount of damage at any point during this. God, what a man, this guy. Locking Vegeta in slot 3 now. Well, these guys have like 1,000,000 defense, so I guess we do this. We do this. I mean, look how quickly we're refilling the Dokkan gauge here now as well because of all this. Kind of crazy. I don't know how well these guys would eat a super from Bojack though. So 1,000,000 defense slot 1 is all well and good for normals. It's so funny though that because we're not taking like actual big chunks of damage, we're this many turns in and we're still no closer to getting the STR Vegeta fusion. Him floating off Vegeta is really, really annoying as well, knocking Vegeta in slot 3, because then we've got, well, I mean, we can use the Janemba fight, hopefully, to just reset our rotations, and we do have the Blue Evolution Vegeta revival in our back pocket, should we need it, but definitely an annoying scenario. I think King Vegeta actually can tank, oh no, he got sealed. Oh, yeah, that's actually, I know he'll tank the normals, but a super could be, okay. We're getting a very strange combination of like good and bad luck, because some of the locking has been really awkward, but we've been getting lucky with our dodges, not getting supered in the wrong spot. So we're hanging in there. So now we're up against Janemba. We need to float off this Vegeta, so that he can have the we can get the rotation set up for the next time. I'm not going to use the active skill here yet for Gogeta. He's got type advantage. Everyone else on the rotation is tanky AF, so we're all good. 750k defense for Tech Vegeta. So yeah, we should be looking good here. Obviously, physical Gogeta is going to not look anywhere near as impressive in this run as he would in other teams and stuff, because not only does he only get the 170 lead from Tech Vegeta, but of course he barely got any super attacks off in his base, so he hasn't had any build-up at all, really, which is a little bit unfortunate, but he is effective against all types. He's got type advantage, so even if he doesn't dodge, his defense should be good enough here. And then yeah, we can start popping some active skills as we get closer to getting to BROLY here. Alright, so Janemba is going to super Gogeta. 217k, okay. It's not too bad. I mean, Gogeta's defense post-super is pretty good. But that just shows you, like, with type advantage and relatively decent defense, like, these bosses are tougher than they were in the original iteration, but they're not, like, flat out destroying you. Because that's the worst thing about these kind of events, is, like, this run is going to have taken, what? Like, it's over 20 minutes at this point. Getting right to the end and then getting, like, super attacked. Which is one of the reasons why they made it so that BROLY, at the end of this boss rush, doesn't disable dodge like he does in the normal boss rush stage. Because, man, imagine that, like, you get all the way to the end after 25 to 30 minutes or something, and then the worst possible unit takes a super from BROLY, and then you just die. So we can finally get the Vegeta fusion, so I'm going to go for it, because we should hopefully win before we've had 10 turns. He should be able to eat the super here. I'm not going to use BROLY's domain again, because, again, it's a situation where it doesn't really help him out to get it. It struggled to get Ki on this turn, though, annoyingly, but we're just going to have to do that so that we can get the orbs for King Vegeta. King Vegeta, of course, like, STR Vegeta still technically is a pure Saiyan unit, even though Vegeta himself isn't, of course, but because we fused, we dodged the super. Awesome. I mean, realistically, it would have been nice to put Vegeta in slot 3 and get all of those counters, but of course the super attack had to be in slot 1. So, wow, Janemba can be sealed in his rage mode, really. Also, I completely forgot that Vegeta can seal on his 18 key super. I definitely forgot that that was a thing. So, 12.7. I mean, Broly's obviously building up nicely. I'll probably just pop his domain maybe on the next turn with him. In fact, the next turn with him could even be the last turn, considering we may finish off. Damn, that's some big damage, though, on BROLY. Okay. Oh, also, yeah, there's no unit whose name includes Vegeta on this turn because of the rotation locking from before. Double super from King Vegeta is good, though, for the extra defense. And we did get the orb, so he has 60% damage reduction, but he might not take double digits. Never mind, my go. Best support unit, or best banner unit. What an absolute legend King Vegeta is. Just casually eating all of that for double-digit damage. And then I guess we just do this. So we don't actually even need to use Gogeta's active skill here. So that'll just be a case of whenever he next comes around, if he comes around onto a rotation before we've defeated BROLY, then we'll be able to use his active skill and finish off BROLY. So, because of course by not having dodge disabled, it means Gogeta's target ability is actually incredibly useful. But yeah, Blue Evolution Vegeta will kill Janemba here with the guaranteed crits from having 24 key. 21 mil. Still had no real danger. Haven't had to use the revival for Blue Evolution Vegeta. So now we're on to the final phase against BROLY. There's definitely, even with a team this powerful, this has taken quite a bit longer than I had originally expected that it would. But we're going to go ahead and use the domain for BROLY. We're going to go ahead and transform with Vegeta. So Vegeta gets extra attack as well as the action break by being hit in slot 1. Of course, he's doing an immediate super attack, but we'll go ahead and transform. And this Tech Vegeta is only 550k, but he does get the massive boost like when he gets hit. So I suppose it's that's not a true representation of his actual defense. And then Vegeta at the end going to get a couple of crits off as well. So super from BROLY here straight away. Does still did 330k, damn. I definitely expected a bit less than that. Vegeta getting floated off is not ideal as well, because we do want to keep getting the stacks and keeping up his like super attack effect. But obviously now that he's actually got the super off, he should be looking good. Of course, once he's transformed, the amount of HP that you're on, I think, doesn't matter, right? Because in base, when he gets hit for the first time at the start of the turn, the amount of defense he gets is based on how much HP you have at the time. And I'm fairly sure, if I remember rightly, once you transform, that is not the case. Right, got the quad super turn. Okay. So big damage here. Yeah, Broly, action break. Broly can super twice. So, I mean, if he supers Vegeta... Well, we know he won't, because of course we have the scouter effect. 35 million. That shows you what happens when you get all of those stacks in base. Then we waited all of this time to transform Broly. 35 million attack stats, so that's a 20 million damage crit super there. And then the additionals are doing 20. If Vegeta crits on his counters, like the amount of damage we'll have done on this turn is just ridiculous. And then we have a bunch of active skills to use on the next turn. So the next turn should be the final turn. So yeah, this guy still, Broly's still just going off here. Super attack after super attack, 27.4 million on an additional 12 key super, which is his like 4th super attack of the turn. So yeah, if Broly gets the opportunity to build up for a lengthy amount of time, oh boy, does he go crazy. And then of course Vegeta here, whilst not hitting the craziest number on his attack stat, he's going to get the counters. Mine has a lot of crit, so obviously you want to get those crit counters. So critting on the super, we get the additional 12 key as well. We might even end up just finishing off the next turn with just active skills, but because yeah, there's a crit counter, pretty decent chunk of damage, and then because we'll see at 3.7. So the attack stat for counters is about triple, so it's almost 10 mil. So then we just go ahead and do this. Oh, we can't actually use his active yet, so I guess we transform you first. And then we pick up the orbs. Well, actually, we can use the Big Bang attack as well, so we're definitely doing that. Put you in the middle, get the extra links. Big Bang attack, and then 49 million crit. Okay. And that's Broly just annihilated by the Big Bang attack. So there you go. That is the movie bosses boss rush red zone thing. It's certainly an interesting event, quite long. Gives you a lot of chance if you're bringing characters that can stack to do some nice numbers. Broly going absolutely crazy at the end there. You love to see that. So yeah, that is the red zone movie edition, movie boss rush. 37 minutes for the full run. That is actually ridiculous, but there you go. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.